When talking about hats of the different religious traditions, and when we move on through the four common traditions of Tibetan Buddhism, the Nyingma, Sakya, Kagyu, and Gelugpa, the Kagyu is actually more complicated and more difficult to talk about because very early on in the history of Kagyu, it split into several different lines, with the principal ones being the Karma Kagyu or the Kamsang, the Drukpa Kagyu, the Taklung, and the Drikung. There were many other lines, but they essentially died out and were basically absorbed into those four. Now, the most of the four main Kagyu schools, the one with the most distinctive hats are the Karma Kagyu. Now, the Karma Kagyu is headed by an incarnate teaching line, an incarnate teacher named Karmapa, and he is also known as the Black Hat Lama. And so whenever you have black hats that are in a cap style, now cap is a style of hat where it's not very large. It does not generally have lappets that fall across the shoulders. It does not necessarily have any. It's more ornamental. It has ornamentation on the front and the sides. It can be a double vajra on the front, as with the Karmapa, and his hat is always black. Then the second highest lama of this teacher of this Karma Kagyu tradition is called the Shamar, the Red Hat Lama. So, and this is also known as the Black and Red Hat Karmapas, the two. So it's also a number set that's specific to the Karma Kagyu tradition. Now, these caps are generally small in size, and they can be black, red, or orange, and generally decorated on the front, as I said, with a double vajra or 3 jewels or some decorative element. Now, along the sides, the left and right side of the cap are clouds, a cloud motif. For the Karmapa hat, the trailing end of the clouds is pointing to the front. For the Shamar hats, the trailing end of the clouds on the sides is pointing towards the back. So this is very important when you're looking at sculpture and there is no color on the cap, or there was color, but the color has been rubbed off. So this is just one iconographic detail to remember to distinguish the Shamar from the Karmapa. Now, the other important teachers are the Gyatsup, the Nenong Pao, then they have the Karma Tinlipa, and then historically later we get in the 17th and then 18th century, we get really the Situ, the Thai Situ coming to prominence. Now, generally these different teachers of the Karma Kagyu all have caps similar to the Karmapa and Shamar, and they're just different colors. So it's said that the Gyatsup and sometimes the Situ, the hat is more orange. The Situ hat can also have a divot on the upper edges on the right and left side. So there can be minor differences, but the most important thing to remember is to distinguish if you see a lot of teachers in a painted composition and they're wearing black hats that are small, like caps, then this is a Karma Kagyu painting most likely. In all likelihood, it really can't be anything else. So that's just an introduction to hats of the Karma Kagyu.